How do you stop eating junk food? You don't. That's right. If you want to succeed with weight loss and weight management or sustaining a healthy lifestyle, you can't get rid of junk food. My name is Daniel, and this is the second episode of my Audiocast, where I answer questions from viewers related to fat loss, cooking tips, body transformations, weight management, and anything in between. I believe that one of the fastest and smartest ways to master something is by learning from others' personal experience, from their struggles or success. If you find yourself in a mundane activity like doing laundry, driving, or even cooking, I highly recommend you tune in because, like I mentioned, I answer questions from people who may share your experience. If you have a question, my email is in the description below. Feel free to send me a question as I may answer it in the next episode, and it will also have the added benefit that your question could be helping many others too. So the question that I got is, do you have any tips to stop eating junk food? And the very important thing to note in that question is the word stop. If somebody is asking, how do I stop doing this? By default, that is a behavior that they are already engaging in, something that is almost innate and instinctive. So how do I stop eating junk food? And spoiler alert, like I said from the very beginning, you don't stop eating junk food. You simply learn how to balance eating junk food. And the thing about wanting to stop eating junk food is it gets harder as you get older. It gets harder as you get older. Now, before I continue, if this is you, I'm not by any means trying to discourage you, because if you're somebody that is trying to stop eating junk food, you're coming from the right place, because you know that you are aware that junk food is the barrier to living a healthier lifestyle or having the ideal body image that you desire, and you're aware of that, and that's a good thing. And in no means I'm discouraging you, it's just you don't want to stop eating junk food, because the older that you get, the harder it is to completely stop. Think about, since you were in elementary school, how you get bombarded with junk food. Television, ads, billboards, newspapers. Well, not newspapers. I mean, I don't think people read newspapers anymore. But your mail correspondence. Even in school, like the examples they would use: hot dogs, hamburgers. You're bombarded with junk food. So wanting to stop something, or wanting to stop engaging in something that is part of your daily routine, part of something that is going to appear in your daily routine, is hard, especially if you're used to it. Because the thing about junk food is that not only is it tasty and palatable, but we live in a time where you can walk in with $5 to any small burger joint or Mexican food joint and walk out with 2 or 3 items. And wanting to stop all of that is going to be almost impossible. The merit is correct, but the execution is wrong. And the execution here is wanting to stop. So instead of having the attitude of how do I stop eating junk food, and regardless of what your goal is, your goal could be to get a six-pack, your goal could be to get more muscular, to reverse your type 2 diabetes. Regardless of why you're doing this, the attitude shouldn't be how do I stop. The attitude should be how do I only eat it when it's necessary. And necessary is only going to fall into one category, because I could give you many categories and tell you, well, when you don't have money, when you need to get something quick, when you haven't had anything to eat throughout the day, so that's the best option. No, I'm only going to give you one, because if your mindset really is that you want to turn your life around, you want to learn proper habits to maintain a healthy weight, you may have to be a little bit extreme at first, and as you get better at weight management, you can break your own rules. But for now, you're only going to have junk food under one condition, and that is when you've earned it. And earning, I can't tell you what earning, when you feel that you've earned or when you've deserved to have a junk food meal or a cheat meal. That is up to you, because you know yourself better. If you are just starting your weight loss journey, then you need to be a little bit more flexible, of course. If you're somebody that's already, you're trying to lose the last 10 pounds, then that may be a more rigid goal for yourself. But there are many ways that you can set yourself up for success. And one of those is by mimicking a token economy. And what I mean by a token economy is you set a specific number of correct behaviors that you're going to engage in, and after that number you earn, or you have worked for, a cheat meal. And that cheat meal could be $10 worth of food at your favorite restaurant, or if your favorite food is pizza, half a pizza, 4 or 5 slices with your favorite dessert. Okay, so but the way that works is that you have to earn it. And like I said, if you are somebody who is just starting to lose weight, let's say that your goal is 150 pounds, you could start out slow. And if you're used to eating junk food, let's say twice a day, you can set yourself up for a token economy where after 3 healthy meals, you get to have whatever you want. That's your token economy right there. If you're somebody who is working towards a 6-pack, let's say, you could do a combination of 15 healthy meals and workouts. So after you eat a healthy meal, you give yourself a token. After you have a workout, that's a token. Until you get to 15, then you award yourself a cheat meal. Now, this is a very effective behavior replacement strategy that is going to be highly effective in changing all the maladaptive behaviors that lead to weight gain or that sabotage you. Because by engaging in this behavior, you do so many things at once. You build discipline. You learn to build momentum, confidence. And I think that more importantly, you get to have a certain appreciation of both junk food and healthy food, because the contrast becomes so apparent when, again, if you're the person who's a little bit stricter and you eat 15 healthy meals in a row, not only are you going to notice how great you feel during those 3 days, but whenever you have that cheat meal, it's going to feel good. It's going to feel really good. And those street food tacos, those bacon wrapped hot dogs, that, all you can eat pasta, is gonna feel more, it's gonna feel 10 times more delicious because of what it means. And I was saying that you also notice the benefits of when you eat healthy. Well, you also notice the benefits of what one big cheat meal does to you. And I can't think of a better analogy of that whole you take 10 steps forward and 1 step back. But at the end of the day, you're still moving forward. And this is one of those strategies, because if you try to cold turkey stop eating junk food, what's going to happen is you're going to take 10 steps forward and 15 steps back, because relapse is very real. And like we discussed in the very beginning, and if you agree with this, if you agree that you grew up with junk food your whole life, you may not see it that way, but that's something that you're used to. By trying to quit cold turkey, it's going to be difficult. And so the relapse or the rebound, whatever you want to call it, is going to be significant, and not in a good way, of course. So instead of getting rid of something that you're used to, you learn to add more value to it. That's what we're doing here, is you're adding more value to junk food. And that is how you can keep eating junk food and achieve that ideal body of yours, or that health that you want. So it's pretty simple, like I mentioned, with the token economy. Create something that works for you. You can slowly fade the amount of meals that it takes to get to your cheat meal. Or I'm sorry, you can add more. And I'm not fade, but add more. Because again, if you continue doing the same thing, you got to remember that if you continue doing the same thing, after a while your body is going to get used to it, and you're going to stop losing weight or seeing results. So you may have to push yourself a little bit more every couple months. And by doing this, engaging in this specific behavior, like I mentioned, you build more confidence with yourself. You trust yourself more. One of the side effects that you're going to have in the long term is that there will be times where you are going to break your own token economy, and you're going to feel okay, because you're going to know exactly what to do and how to get back on track. And that's totally okay. There might be a weekend where life happens and a breakup happens, or you feel stressed because of work, and you just say, I don't want to follow my token economy this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I just want to eat anything and everything I see. I'm not saying that's what you should do, but if it happens, by previously having engaged in this behavior where you build that discipline and you earn that junk food, it's going to be much easier to get back on track. And you're not going to be so hard on yourself because of that weekend, because you know that you can get back on that token economy again, that you can be a little bit stricter for a while, because you know that you can do it. And again, that's what this behavior does. That's what this learning to earn your junk food does for you. So think about how you can create your own reward system for junk food, and if it makes sense, if it's realistic, if it's something that's still gonna get you results. But don't get rid of junk food. If you're used to it, and especially if you're older, that could mean many things for many people. But if you're older and you're trying to get rid of junk food, it's gonna be harder. Even for anybody that's younger, it's still gonna be hard. It's part of your everyday life. And the beauty of all of this too is, as you eat healthier and you learn to make healthy recipes at home, because that's what this is going to force you to do. This is going to force you to be on top of your meal prepping, being on top of having healthy, friendly, ready foods at home. And so it becomes a secondary effect where you learn more about nutrition, and so you even learn to eat junk food in a healthier way. If you just started dieting, or if you're just trying to lose weight for the first time, you probably don't know what I'm talking about. But those of you that have already been dieting for a while, or when you come back to this video. And when I say that you're gonna learn to eat junk food in a healthier way, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about when your primary restaurants are ones like Chipotle or Genghis Grill or Mexican restaurants, because they have a lot of chicken fajitas, or steakhouses because you can do the extra protein and the vegetables. You know how to eat junk food, in quotes, in a healthier way. So trust yourself, trust the process, and start building that discipline today by engaging in this behavior where junk food is earned. Don't be too hard on yourself at the very beginning, but make sure that you're pushing yourself. If you have to start with every 2 healthy meals, you get 1 junk food meal or 1 cheat meal, by all means. Just make sure that your goal for the next week is to increase that to 3 healthy meals and then my cheat meal, and so on. Hopefully that helped you out. If you have any questions, like I mentioned, make sure that you shoot me an email. And if you have any other tips that you'd like to share that I maybe didn't cover well or at all in this video, leave them in the comments, because like I said, even if I'm not covering something that was asked, the point of these videos are for all of us to help each other out. So if you have any other tips, you can share them in the comments below so that others can benefit from them. And I'll see you guys in the next episode.